We are back here on National Geographic Weekend. I'm Boyd Matson. Time now for our Wild Chronicles segment, in which I share some stories of my own travels for National Geographic. And usually, I'm talking about some place around the world that I've been that is a little exotic, a little remote, a little inaccessible for the average trip. However, this time, my journeys took me all the way to the courtyard here at National Geographic. It took me out the front door of the building from which we are broadcasting this very radio show. And people here at National Geographic who have seen all kinds of wildlife and interesting behavior, and some that most people didn't even know about until our cameras were there to first film it, are suddenly very excited over watching a mother mallard duck. A mallard duck and her 10 little ducklings have arrived on the campus here at National Geographic. They walked across the street. Some have reported, I have no confirmation of this, but it has been reported they actually used the crosswalk. They were born, the ducklings were just born a few days ago in a nest across the street from National Geographic, and they showed up in our courtyard. And everybody during their lunch breaks, their coffee breaks, anytime you just need a break to get away from the boss, they're running downstairs, going outside and seeing the ducks. It's quite the attraction here. And one reason they may be finding comfort in our courtyard, we have some lovely plantings, flower beds, little garden area. And we also have a small pond. It's a little rectangle body of water, very small, with some big granite boulders, a little architectural feature in the courtyard. And the ducks have used that as home. So we have now placed a mat into the pond that acts as a ramp so the ducklings can easily get into the water and swim around a little and then climb back out and go sit in the flower bed and hide out. And we've roped off the area in the flower bed so people won't get too close to them and bug the mom and her babies. And our study of wildlife, of course, lets us know you see these signs in parks everywhere, and it holds true here. You don't feed the ducks. They've got to be able to find this food on their own. And you don't want to move them. They are so young. They were just born a few days ago. So we're giving them a chance to establish. And next time you're in Washington, D.C., it may be something you want to put on your do not miss list. See the ducks. But you got to get here soon. We've had ducks here before, bigger ducks, swimming in that pond, make it their home in the summertime. The wildlife. We don't have to go to find the wildlife. It has come to us at National Geographic. And this week, I was not only going down into our own courtyard to look for something as a way of getting back to nature, but you know where else I went? I went to a national park that is only a few blocks from the National Geographic Headquarters. And I just want to give it a little shout out. I'm going to write a column about this national park I write a regular column for National Geographic Traveler magazine. And so I'm going to include this park, one that is often overlooked. You may not be aware, but the National Mall and the memorials in the National Mall are part of a national park. And it's between 600 and 700 acres, so it's good sized, and it stretches from the Capitol down to the Potomac River, or more familiarly, from the Capitol to the Lincoln Memorial. And in between, you've got the Washington Monument and statue to Grant, some Civil War memorials. You got the Jefferson Memorial, one for Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the Vietnam Memorial, the Korean War Memorial, the World War II Memorial. It's a fabulous place to come and visit, and you forget about it. So come to Washington, D.C., tour the national park that is our mall, and if you get here soon, come see the ducks at National Geographic. Wildlife has arrived here in Washington, D.C. That wraps up the show for this time. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Boyd Matson. Thanks to my producer, Ben Shaw. Be sure and join us next time on National Geographic Weekend for another radio